Usually there's a little more body movement and ball movement in that first play that's drawn up. Now, Aaron Gordon, it will be interesting to see what kind of game he can pull out of his hat. Looking at the officials, we got Tyler Ford as your crew chief, Barack Kogut and Aaron Smith as your officials here tonight. Off the mark for Bruce Brown.
Reflections, obviously with the lineups that Denver's putting out there, I think changed things up at least mentally for him.
Here to begin with. Gordon's spin move up against Brook, who sends it back the other way. Brook's first block of the night.
All-around player, he could, no matter the role. Lisa?
Pat knows that he doesn't need any more playing time from Mike, right? Like, he doesn't have to...
You probably do come into this game thinking there's going to be a certain lineup for Denver. It's obviously not the case. You just have to refocus and still play your game.
You know, 5 turnovers. Look, Joe Ingles came over, gave him some love. Drew Holiday in the interview came over, gave him some love. So you can just see how his teammates react to him. Wow, there's the first dunk from Gordon. Look, Joe Ingles came over, gave him some love. Drew Holiday in the interview came over, gave him some love. So you can just see how his teammates react to him. Wow, there's the first dunk from Gordon. You see all the bump and the contact that he takes on some of those drives.
It's just interesting watching him sometimes. Gordon on the attack again. He's really playing well.
Pope, Jokic, all those guys watching this one from the bench. Wesley Matthews getting some first quarter playing time. Chance to take the lead on this possession. Grayson Allen from deep, not there.
Missing so many of their guys. I do think Aaron Gordon certainly is the featured guy tonight, even though Ish Smith came out playing really well. That was not Flavor Flav.
That was not.
Just showing.
No.
Do you know, Lisa, after the game, we're in the tunnel in Detroit.
Gosh, where are you going?
With my friend. I said, oh my goodness, my mind was almost blown. I thought it was...
Did you invite him to the Reba McEntire concert that's going to be here at 5
I think Flavor Flav would appreciate that.
Once again, playing shorthanded without 4 starters tonight if you just joined us.
It's all 5 guys, and it's been Gib Aaron the ball, let him go one-on-one.
Good feed, and knocking it in is Christian Brown.
Recently as last year, this year not so much, but Milwaukee, as much as we talked about, good hands right there by Chris. Denver wanted to be like Milwaukee. I think there's some things Denver does that Milwaukee could certainly really use.
Pat Connaughton for the lead. Bucket cutting the lead to 1, 53-52. Handoff to Joe Ingles, who goes right back to Brook Lopez. Block from behind. Drew Holiday was there. He misses.
Yeah, and it's one thing that's definitely carried over from, some of those games that nice pass right there by Drew.
Gordon was all over it, not once, but twice.
Yeah, and it's one thing that's definitely carried over from, some of those games that nice pass right there by Drew.
Gordon was all over it, not once, but twice. It's like Aaron Gordon might be holding for his own final shot. Air ball.
I think it does speak to the value of being unpredictable. Even if it means you're Gordon with the miss right there. If it means you're worse, you have 4 of your starters out. And you do look forward to those matchups.
You do.
I think when you have the opportunity to say on the court tonight are the last 4 MVPs over the last 4 years. 2 for Jokic, 2 for Giannis.
Giannis has it. Giannis at his best in the open court. Lopez for 3.
But it was a subtle thing. Michael Malone said, if you don't want to vote for Jokic because you don't think he deserves it, that's fine. But don't not vote for him because he's won it the last 2 times. But he gave a list of names of other people competing for the MVP.
I think you bring up a very interesting point. If you didn't mention Giannis,
I kept waiting.
He's campaigning. You don't blame him.
The 3 falls.
He's doing a really good job of this. When Giannis gets downhill like that, it's almost like they're using one guy to create a bump and some contact, and then have Najee come over and come contest at the rim. He's doing a really good job of this. When Giannis gets downhill like that, it's almost like they're using one guy to create a bump and some contact, and then have Najee come over and come contest at the rim.
Necessarily has been called tonight.
Yeah, the way Denver seems to kind of be doing with waves of defense where Giannis usually does get his way. And you can see what they were looking at right there was Ish Smith, one of the smallest guys on Denver's roster, trying to guard.
That's Chanchar feeding Aaron Gordon for another dunk.
playing last night when Jokic was out there as well. And he makes a lot of things happen, kind of just a glue guy out there.
Brook with another block. Debuted in December, debuted again on Monday. The time off during both sessions. Gordon for three. And the Bucks turn it over. Here comes Green. Brown misses the bunny. To the Highland. About Gordon's turn. How many opportunities Denver's going to get? Brown misses the bunny. To the Highland. About Gordon's turn. How many opportunities Denver's going to get?
You know, at this point, I think, look, Javon makes that, you love it, and it's a day. He misses. Obviously, that's what you put yourself at risk at. Going down the other way, it ends up being a 6-point swing. But
for the season, they've been averaging about 14 makes, so they're right on that pace. Highland, wow, Aaron Gordon with the follow. They're asking for offensive basket interference. They're not going to get it. For the season, they've been averaging about 14 makes, so they're right on that pace. Highland, wow, Aaron Gordon with the follow. They're asking for offensive basket interference. They're not going to get it. And our next opponent, thank you, Craig. Pacers just kind of hovering around maybe a 500 record, 24-25 coming into tonight. And Gordon. And our next opponent, thank you, Craig. Pacers just kind of hovering around maybe a 500 record, 24-25 coming into tonight. And Gordon. And our next opponent, thank you, Craig. Pacers just kind of hovering around maybe a 500 record, 24-25 coming into tonight. And Gordon. And our next opponent, thank you, Craig. Pacers just kind of hovering around maybe a 500 record, 24-25 coming into tonight. And Gordon. And our next opponent, thank you, Craig. Pacers just kind of hovering around maybe a 500 record, 24-25 coming into tonight. And Gordon.
Yeah, and that's why these kind of games, look, the Bucks are playing Denver, but as you watch around the Eastern Conference, like you said, you see Milwaukee climb up those standings. They get Chris Middleton back. Jeff Green knocking that jumper down there, but 15 games under his belt. Chris Middleton back in rhythm, big three out there. These are the kind of games you got to get wins.
Joe tried that little pocket pass. Results in that. A slam dunk transition style. A quick 5 points here to open up this game, and those are his first points since the first quarter.
You can see where this game is going now. Throwing the ball into Giannis, a little bit of ISO basketball.
So much goes into that. Trying to keep guys healthy, get them back into the season as Gordon knocks down the distance shot.
Joe, and leave him like that, he can make you pay.
Giannis could get a 30-point game here. Going against Gordon, leans in, didn't get the foul call.
Players are out there, guys are playing through the fatigue. The whole game is already happening, so I do think that really matters. Nice move right there, but this is always going to be Giannis' team, and getting everybody in rhythm, I think, is the most important thing.
Giannis' night is done, and another three-pointer for Jeff Green.